Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films, movies, and in particularly Marvel movies. My name is Elijah, and we finally got the second trailer, or the third trailer if you count the Super Bowl trailer, to Avengers Endgame, and the hype is real. And as it's been out for a couple of hours now, or pretty much a whole day by the time you guys are watching this, we've been doing a ton of speculation as to what's going on in this trailer, and more importantly, bigger picture, how does this trailer tell a story connected with the other trailers we've seen so far? We've been kind of piecing together a timeline off of what we've seen in these trailers, and we've kind of found some really interesting themes that are recurring here, and it's almost like Marvel is hiding a pretty big message secretly in these trailers. So before we get into the speculation, just a general spoiler alert, we are going to be talking about the official stuff that's been released, but we might talk a little bit about minor leaks that have come out, as well as speculation to plot devices and things that might happen in the story. So just in case, you've been warned, but there's no massive spoilers coming out of this video, just little tiny minor ones. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Agent Romanoff, you miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
First and foremost, when we're looking at this trailer, we have to understand and remember the fact that, for the most part, Marvel is extremely secretive to what they are doing with the Avengers movies as a whole, and specifically Avengers Endgame. Before we're able to jump into this and try to piece some timeline together in one way or another, we have to take a moment and remember that it wasn't even a year ago when Avengers Infinity War had a ton of trailer footage showing off that fight in Wakanda that wasn't even accurate. They literally changed the scenes and added things in the scenes that weren't in the final movie. And while we're still going to take a very close look at what's going on in this trailer and figure out what the real message is here, we need to understand that there could be some serious misdirection in what they are doing with these trailers. But Marvel has officially announced that all the footage we are seeing in these trailers come from relatively the first 15 minutes of the movie. Now, we don't know this is necessarily for sure, because they also announced that the name of the next Avengers movie was not said in any movie already before, and they clearly have said Endgame in another movie before.
A hostile alien army came charging through a hole in space. We're standing 300 feet below it. We're the Avengers. We can bust arms dealers all the livelong day, but that up there, that's the Endgame. How are you guys planning on beating that? Together.
Did we just lose? Why would you do that? We're in the end game now.
So with that, let's go ahead and piece together a timeline based off of the two main trailers that we've seen. So first off, let's talk about Tony Stark being in the ship at the beginning of both trailers that we've seen. Based off of the first trailer, we know that Tony Stark is talking to Pepper Potts, or leaving a recording if this message is ever delivered or if he is ever found. And in the new trailer, we actually hear what I believe is a little bit more of an extended version of that same message. You know, the whole part about him trying to pull off one more surprise. Interestingly enough, he talks about how it seems like it's been a long time since he originally made that first Iron Man suit in the cave back in the very first Iron Man movie, which we feel like is a huge indicator that maybe that theme of fighting his way out by using his brain might come into play again, kind of how he broke out of the cave in the first Iron Man when he was essentially trapped in the middle of nowhere. We think that there's going to be some major mirroring going on in Avengers Endgame, especially because during the Super Bowl ad, we do see this very short sequence of him with Nebula working on something, And notice the black tank top, which also mirrors that scene from the first movie. Now fast forward onto Earth, we see several scenes of the Avengers team, or what's remaining of the Avengers team, kind of just generally sitting around talking about what happened. We know from the Captain Marvel post-credits scene that they are doing tests on Fury's pager, and we kind of see the scene where they're going through all of the faces of people that are either missing or that they know where they are. And it almost seems like during this time, the remaining Avengers are kind of in the pre-planning stage of trying to put something together, because it's pretty clear through all these trailers that the idea of not giving up, no matter what the costs are, is really prevalent. This is kind of where things get a little bit tricky, and we have to use a little bit more speculation. In the first trailer, we hear Black Widow talk about how Thanos did exactly what he said he would do, and kind of over-explains what happens, which is kind of weird for a dialogue choice if you think about it, if everyone who's around already knows what happened. Which leads me to think that this one scene, or this one piece of dialogue, is Black Widow explaining to someone who hasn't actually experienced the snap firsthand, which means that it could be either Scott Lang, who was in the quantum realm when the snap happened, or Carol Danvers, who Natasha is explaining it to. In the first trailer, we saw a couple scenes of Hawkeye, which is great to see him again. And in the second trailer that just came out, we kind of see Natasha is also with Hawkeye, which leads us to also speculate that possibly she's on some sort of recruiting mission, trying to gather anyone that they can find who they've worked with in the past or that can be an asset to them. It kind of ties back to why they have all the faces on the screen and they're sorting through what options they have. Now, Clint doesn't look too happy. He looks pretty upset about something, or pretty motivated by something. And then we see this clip from the second trailer where it shows him with his daughter training her how to use a bow and arrow, which could be foreshadowing to a new character we might get down the road. This makes me and a lot of people in Film Artsy also think that this could possibly be a flashback to Clint's perspective of when the snap happened. This could be a good motivator as to why he would come out of retirement and risk everything. We think there's also going to be some sort of small time jump between kind of these first set of events and the few scenes we've seen from later parts of the trailer. Specifically the second trailer, we see that Black Widow dyes her hair back to being red. We see Hawkeye has a new haircut, for better or worse. We don't need to debate that one today. And then we are led with the scene of all of the Avengers walking in white suits, which looks like it could be maybe mirroring special Avenger suits for the Quantum Realm, which we can remember that Scott Lang has access to. And if we remember from Ant-Man and the Wasp, in the Quantum Realm, there are time vortexes or something along those lines. So we know that time does play a major role in the Quantum Realm, and that time and space are irrelevant, which are two of Thanos' stones that he actually has. So maybe as a way to try to counter some of Thanos' abilities, this could be a huge motivating factor to try to use something in the Quantum Realm. So we see them all walking, and that also includes Tony Stark and Nebula, which either means one of two things happens here. Either Tony Stark does in fact come up with some sort of way to save himself, mirroring the events of the first Iron Man movie, or they filmed this kind of as a B-roll secondary shot of this scene just to trick audiences into thinking that he actually does make it back. Even with all the footage we've gotten so far, we still are just stuck speculating, and we have no real confirmations as to anything yet. Then finally, we do have the scene of Captain Marvel right after she arrived, and Thanos says that he likes this one. And from there, we believe that that's when the Avengers will go to space and try to find Thanos. Now, spoiler alert from outside of this trailer, there was a leak a couple of days ago we talked about on this channel. There's a full video breaking it down, where actually the scene of Thor saying, "I like this one," to Captain Marvel was kind of revealed a few days earlier from a series of tweets. So we weren't really sure if those tweets were legitimate or not, and it looks like at least that first example of the conversation was correct. And the most important thing that you can draw from those leaks was that Nebula steps up and tells the rest of the Avengers that she actually knows where Thanos is and where he would go, because he would often talk about it when he was developing and engineering her. Now, while this is mostly the basic stuff that we've seen from the trailer, there's kind of this secret ongoing message that we also kind of caught if you've watched both of the trailers, specifically regarding Captain America. Well, we know that his emotional crutch for a lot of the movies and a lot of his romantic interests were kind of surrounding Peggy Carter from the very first Captain America, the heartbreaking scene where he never gets that first date with her. We kind of see Peggy Carter play a little bit of a role in Avengers Endgame trailer number 1, where we see that Steve actually has a picture of her in his locket. So it's really interesting here that they're kind of putting Peggy Carter back into the trailer, almost reminding people who she was now. The fact that she even has a speaking role that's present in the trailer is really big, especially for a character that we haven't even seen, other than a really small appearance in Winter Soldier, in a really long time. And while a lot of people expect Captain America to die in Avengers Endgame, and we're not ruling that possibility out, since there is a role of time travel definitely going to be involved in this next movie, who knows, maybe there will be that reunion as the write-off to Steve Rogers rather than a death, and that could be kind of a happy ending, which would be kind of nice. But who knows where this story really is going, because outside of allegedly the first 15 minutes, unless they are kind of fooling us with some things, we really don't have much to go off of. And apparently the runtime of this movie is already at 3 hours. They might cut it down a little bit, but for now it's 3 hours. So there's a lot of movie and a lot of stuff that we still haven't even gotten our foot in the door yet with. And then finally, there's a couple of scenes that look like there's some action in it, specifically showing Captain America once again. We see a little bit of Nebula. We also see a really cool scene of Rocket Raccoon and War Machine together, and I don't know why, but it just feels like War Machine's armor looks really, really good in Endgame. But who knows at this point? Things are shaping up to look really good. All right, so what do you guys think? How do you think this timeline and this Endgame movie based off of the trailers is going to play out? Do you think the trailers are pretty accurate into depicting a larger picture of the movie, or do you guys think it's more reserved to the first 15 minutes? What is your big theory about Avengers Endgame? There's so many things to think about and so many theories out there. We'd love to have an ongoing discussion, so leave a comment down below with what you're thinking, or check out other people's comments and comment on their comments about their theories, so we can kind of do this bigger conversation, and maybe that will be turned into a video, who knows. So check it out down below, guys, and also check out our Instagram for more bonus content just like this. Link in the description to that as well. If you're new, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on for all things Avengers and Marvel, and we'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
Hey guys, we hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys hit the like button down below and subscribe for more Film Artsy. If you guys want to showcase your talent to the world, Film Artsy is the best place for you guys to do it. Please submit your videos to filmartsyofficial@gmail.com, or you guys can click the link in the description. We really want to see what kind of talent you guys can provide. So let us know, send us an email, and we'll check out your videos, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Talking?
I'm about to.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.